My presentation is about my love of the outdoors, adventure, and providing others with the opportunity to have similar adventures. I love a good adventure, something that pushes my limit. This is where I was born. Well, not really. I was young, and when this was made, my dad made a log cabin. He worked for the Cook County Forest Preserve on the south side of Chicago. So he built this cabin, and it quickly became my brother and I's playhouse. And that's me at the top, and that's my mom at the bottom there. So yeah, we had a lot of fun. That's my dad and my brother. We were sailing on Lake Michigan. My dad did a lot of adventures with us, and that spurred my interest in outdoor adventure. When I was older, I also sailed on Lake Michigan, and the Chicago skyline is really impressive from a boat. This is a colonial reenactment where I dressed like a French voyageur. I'm right there in the front of the loop. We were racing 34-foot long Montreal canoes at the Keystone Hunters Moon in Indiana. At this event, there was Indian teepees, French and British and American Revolutionary War soldiers. So very colorful event. This is a dugout canoe that my dad made from a log. It took him 6 months. He didn't think I'd float. I had to tell him, it's a log, it will float. We paddled this canoe from Alton to the Arch, and it was really challenging shooting the rapids at the Chain Rocks there. These are green sea turtles at Kauai, Hawaii. I was snorkeling, looking at some tropical fish, and one of these guys came up about 2 feet from me, and I was looking at it, and it was looking at me. It was pretty cool. On the same trip, I was snorkeling, and a massive school of silverfish swarmed around me. That's all I could see. And then I thought, fish, sharks. And I didn't see any sharks, but I saw one of these guys that was feeding on these sharks. So yeah, pretty cool. When I was 16, I had really cool long hair. I was backpacking with my mom and brother at Porcupine National Park on Lake Superior. Despite our best efforts, a black bear broke off a branch that was holding one of our food packs. So I guess he was pretty hungry. This is a Boy Scout troop that I work with. When I was young, I was really active in Boy Scouts, and I still am. That's where I learned to merge my interest in outdoors with community service and helping others get outdoors. This troop was started in 1960. This is, let's see. Oh, my experience with Boy Scouts and backpacking allowed me to pass on this knowledge to younger generation scouts. Here we're backpacking at, this is the Great Smoky Mountains. And this is the Rocky Mountains. We took another trip where the scouts, we went up to 12,000 feet, so well above the forest below, and scouts learned how hard it was to breathe light air at 12,000 feet. This is also at 12,000 feet. I was skiing at Telluride, and it was quite a challenge for a boy from Missouri to ski at 12,000 feet. I couldn't ski very far, and I was panting really badly, but it was a great view. I love skiing so much that I decided to take the Scouts skiing. And so here we are at Alpine Valley, Wisconsin. All these Scouts had never skied before. They were young and fearless, and we really had a good time. It was fun to watch them. I'm also heavily involved in the Sierra Club. This is an environmental group with its mission to get people out into nature. Every spring and fall, we clear brush off a 30-mile stretch of the Ozark Trail in southern Missouri. This is one of our crews. We also do work with state parks and prescribed burns, like what Elizabeth was talking about earlier. This helps control invasive species and restore woodland areas. I thought the flames were really going to be big, like big. They're not this big. I was underwhelmed, but that's the way it's supposed to work. And there's Elizabeth right there. We were doing some work with forestry at O'Fallon Park, and that's her crew that's here tonight. We're there with the Ozark Trail Association, repairing some damage from the tornado. And this was the date of the tornado. The Sierra Club group that we're working with is 3 hours south of here, working on the Ozark Trail. The very next morning, we quickly packed up, and by 2 o'clock p.m., we're in St. Louis, cutting and removing brush from the tornado. As you can see, it was very extensive damage. We spent many days removing brush. We worked with several different groups. One day we worked with a group from the Missouri History Museum, and I was super impressed with how hard these guys worked. It was just unreal. This is me backpacking with my brother and 3 of his sons in Yosemite National Park. We camped at this site. At night, you could hear the roar of a waterfall from this lake. I'll never forget it. If you'd like to do some of your own adventures, come talk with me. And this is Julie and I. We're at the Spanish Steps in Rome. My greatest adventure is the one I share with my lovely wife, Julie. I love you.